Peace, everyone. How are you out there? We have literally embarked upon energies of deep transformation, inner renewing, abundance, love, enlightenment. But most importantly, we've embarked upon the energies of inevitable change. God has been speaking in reference to his church. And what is happening in this hour is God is not happy at all, because the masculines left their post to go chase after other homes and wives and riches and families and things of that nature. But while they left their posts, the women were running the churches. They were running the businesses, the organizations, while the masculines were out joining their boys' clubs and their secret societies. But as a result of that, the women have developed some type of inner scarring that they have yet to heal from. A lot of childhood wounds, a lot of childhood scars, energies of perversion that have yet to be addressed, that it's now time to address those energies. I feel like God has sent his remnant into the churches to speak on behalf of thus saith the Lord. However, a lot of the pastors have closed their doors to God's people. Even Christ himself has come in the form of man once again into this time, into this plane of existence, and Christ has also been denied entrance into the church, entrance into the foregrounds of bringing the messages of God Almighty. It's deep, because a lot of people don't even realize that the women are running the churches, but they're running it from a place of ego, vain, vanity, rudeness, meanness, manipulation, spitefulness, hatred, drama, gossip, manipulation. And God is not happy at all. God is not pleased at all. Pastors, take back hold of your churches. Even if God told you that that was your wife at one point in time, it's time for you to step back into your season of your calling and stop allowing these women to stand in the positions and the seats of what it is that God placed you in. Many of you even have women in the positions, in the seats of pastoralship, and you have not respected their calling as the voice of God. It's time that you do that, because you're going to be held accountable for everything they're doing. I feel like there are so many warnings that have been going out, and a lot of things have been about God cutting off his tribe, the tribe of Judah, his body, from the covenant, because no matter how much he pleads to people to come out of her, people are making up excuses. A lot of people are leaving messages on my page just saying, oh, well, that's one thing I don't believe. God is always going to be forgiving. And that's very true. Up until now, God has always been very forgiving, and God will always be very forgiving. However, I feel like y'all are running with that. You feel as if because God is a forgiving God, because God is a loving God, that your behavior is justifiable, and it's not. And because of this, the entire book of Isaiah even talks about how you will be held accountable for your ways, your actions, your deeds, and you will be cut off from the covenant. Many of y'all have already been cut off from the covenant, but yet your actions and your ways and the things that you're still doing is still putting you in this position of, oh, I'll do it. I'll be fine. God will forgive me. God is a forgiving God. God is a loving God, and God is. But for you to sin and still know that you're sinning and still do what you're doing, in essence, to say, oh, God's going to forgive me. Really? That's deep. I'm just the messenger. But still, some way, somehow, y'all always like to find that gun to shoot the messenger. And it's deep to me because you know how many people don't even know that their guns are going to run out of bullets? My breath melts bullets. I am the gun. I am the voice crying out in the wilderness, and I know what God is saying to his people in this hour. Trust me, all I got to do is sit in essence in the presence of God and listen. And a lot of y'all are not even listening. A lot of y'all have turned a deaf ear. You've turned a blind ear. You're not even trying to be a part of the covenant. But suddenly destruction will come upon this land. Trust me when I say the 3 days of darkness are upon us. And for many of you, the 3 days of darkness have already transpired within your lives. Ain't no man, ain't no woman worth your soul, especially a distraction. I see so many of you being distracted by different events that keep popping up in your life on purpose to distract you from your true calling and what it is that you are to be doing in your walk. Be mindful of deceptive things in this hour. Be mindful of allowing people to stand in the pulpit of what it is that God has given you to stand in the pulpit to do. Be cautious of feeling as if you're not anointed enough or you're not good enough or God's still mad at you or God's gonna be mad at you. So much to where you can't even stand on your post. That's not true. You're given a chance right now to get back on your post while you still can. Seek God's voice. Seek God's face now while you still can. While God still may be found. That's merely what God is asking in this hour. But the thing about it is, are you listening? That's the true question. All right. That's all I got to say. Go to God for the rest. I love you. And I love yourself. Nubian Divine.